So there's the trope of the wicked stepmother, but what about the disrespectful stepchild? It's no step-parent's dream to create a new family and then live day in and day out with a stepchild that's actively disrespectful to them. But man, oh man, does it seem to be happening all the time. So in this video, we're going to break down what's behind stepchildren's disrespectful behavior and what you as a step-parent can do about it. And as a bonus, I'm going to offer you a free tool that can help any step parent move towards better connection with their stepkids. By the way, I'm Alex Harrison. I'm a licensed therapist, step family coach, and I'm here to help you find your step family reset. I want to acknowledge that feeling like the target of a stepchild's disrespect is so incredibly painful. It's pretty unrealistic to expect that you just stay neutral in the face of any disrespect. But for step parents, receiving it just comes with feeling rejected and hopeless, especially when you likely entered into a step family with a lot of openness and optimism. Now, the step parent trap would be to just label this as a parenting problem, but the truth is that it's likely more complex than that. I'm going to let you into my therapist brain for just a second. When I see someone doing something that by most measures is wrong, unproductive, or downright damaging, my training tells me to ask this question: what's the function of the behavior? Because if we understand the function of the behavior, we can make sense of it and we can know where to go from there. And here's the thing: all behaviors serve a function of some kind. In other words, we really don't do things that don't work for us in some respect. Disrespect is often a very self protective behavior for kids. It's grandiose in nature, whether it's loud and angry and boundaryless, or subtle and passive aggressive and walled off. And what we know about kids in step families is that they face a number of challenges that put them in a posture of feeling like they need to self protect. First, the formation of a step family, even at its best, still comes with a series of losses and big changes that are hard for kids, and it takes time, like years, not months, for them to adjust to those changes and losses. A step family means big shifts in how children experience the time and energy from their newly repartnered parents, the entrance of other people into their living space, new routines, new rules, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And the research tells us that as the rate of change for kids increases, their well being decreases. So, acting out and disrespect can often be a behavioral response to that hit to well being. Disrespect can also be a common behavior for kids stuck in what we call loyalty binds, which is the felt experience for kids that moving towards connection with a step parent is somehow a betrayal of the other parent, most typically the co parent in the other household. Now, sometimes we do have an emotionally immature co parent in the other household who is actively undermining the step parent stepchild relationship. But sometimes kids just feel loyalty binds organically because it's kind of confusing for a child to navigate the role of a step parent in their life. It's emotionally complex, and kids aren't that great at that kind of complexity. So, on a certain level, things just feel a lot simpler if they can just create distance between themselves and that step parent. Okay, so understanding some of the functions of a stepchild's disrespectful behavior is one thing, and now I'm going to share a few things that you can actually do about it. First, I think that having an understanding of their behavior in the context of changes and losses and loyalty binds can really help us as step parents because it reminds us this isn't actually about us. It's not personal. It's a kid having a hard time. And we need to remind ourselves of that when we are feeling those incoming eye rolls, the sass mouth, whatever the acting out behavior du jour happens to be. Because the truth is, how we show up to that disrespect can really shape what comes next. Now, I'm not suggesting that you embrace being a doormat. I am suggesting that you learn to respond in a way that respects yourself while also respecting your stepchild. Having healthy boundaries does not mean meeting a child's disrespect with self protective disrespect of your own. I promise it won't do a thing to loosen any of those loyalty binds they might be feeling. You can let a stepchild know that their behavior impacted you, and my mantra for that delivery is less is more. We're going to lessen our emotional temperature. We're not going to match theirs. We're quieting our voice. If it's a younger child, we can also be less physically imposing by getting down low and physically closer to their level. And we want to say as little as possible to get the message across. We do not want to invite a fight. That can sound as simple as, ouch, I gotta say, that was really rough. Or, I'm going to ask you to try that again, kiddo. For older kids, we can calmly and without any vindictive tone say things like, I'm game to consider a respectful request. The truth is, there's absolutely a place for bio parent support here. Pushing boundaries by being disrespectful is developmentally normal for all kids, but it's the role of parents to create the guardrails, to show our kids where those boundaries actually lie. And sometimes there really is a parenting problem at play, a permissive parenting style, one that is high on warmth but low on limits and age appropriate expectations, can really leave a lot of room for consequence free disrespect from kids. And if that's the case, it's really important that a step couple engages in honest and open dialogue away from kids' ears about parenting. And if that feels like a really stuck place for you as a couple, this is where step family coaching or step family conscious couples therapy can be a game changer. Okay, I promised you a free resource, so here it is. Go to the link in the video description below and download my free guide, 5 tips to improving connection with your stepkids. These are simple, actionable steps that you can take right now to get your relationship with stepchildren moving in the right direction. Stepchild and step-parent relationships are just complicated. And in the next video, I'm going to tackle something that affects every couple in a step family that almost nobody is talking about.